Welcome and welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I finally got it. And I'm going to say Happy New Year. Even though we're out of January by the time this is uploaded, this will be the first upload of the new year. And I hope everyone enjoyed their new year and looking for better things in 2026. Okay, so let's get started. If you're returning, you know how I do. I don't like to keep you waiting. So you see a pot is already boiling. If you're new to my channel, I love dishes that are easy to make, simple, and very affordable. So let's get started. Today I'm coming with a delicious eat. I've been doing tasty treats, but I figure I'd do a delicious eat. This is just elbow macaroni. And I'm just going to put in about 2 cups. And how much water do you put in? You always want to put in enough water that it covers the pasta. That's the trick. You just want enough water that it covers the pasta. Now, I was at a restaurant or fast food, and I was ordering this dish. And I said, it was about 3 of us. And it came to over, I kid you not, about $48. Now, I will give you the initials of the restaurant. The initials are KFC. Yeah. And they have this pasta bowl. And I sat there and I looked at it and I said, almost $50. I know I can make it easier, faster, and cheaper. Now I'm going to move this over because it is clogging up the camera. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to move that to the side. And I said, yeah, I can make the same thing. And it could be much more affordable than that. So here's my attempt. Now, I don't know if you've seen a new menu. And maybe you know about that dish that I'm trying to recreate. My version of it. My more affordable version of it. So I just moved that over to the side. I have the pasta on the side cooking. And now I'm going to come in with the filling. Now, if you look at their dish, and I like what I said, I know I can make it cheaper and I know I can make it healthier. So here we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this on if I can figure it out. Okay. This is new, so bear with me. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so like I said, I can make it healthier and much more affordable. I mean, it was like 4 of us. Yeah, about 4 of us, and it came out to $48. I'm not paying that. So this is just oil. And this is just regular cooking oil. You use whatever you have on hand, corn oil, vegetable oil. If you're new to my channel, I like taking stuff that's already in your cabinet. You don't have to go out and buy anything new. You know, I told this story 100 times. I used to watch shows and they always require ingredients that I just knew wasn't in my cabinet and could not afford. I'm just adding a little bit of butter and you'll see why in a minute. So now I'm coming in with what? Frozen spinach. Yeah. Now, if your family don't like spinach, you use the vegetable that you like. My family seem to love spinach. I can't get them to eat it. So I'm coming in with spinach. But you can use broccoli. Or you can omit the vegetables. But again, this was a challenge. I knew I could make it affordable. That was never in question. Can you make it healthier? Yeah, I think I can do that. And this is frozen, so it's really already done. But I like to cook it just a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. And you hear that sizzle? Now, I'm not adding any seasonings yet, and I'll tell you why in a second. So now, here's why I said you can use the vegetable that you like. If your family don't use, well, of course you can use the vegetables that you like. You're the one eating it. But I'm just going to come in with, yeah, it's really frying or cooking with some cherry tomatoes. And I'm just cutting them in half. You don't have to, but I just like to cut them in half. And again, use the vegetables that's already in your refrigerator. I'm going to tear this one. And that's a nice way. This is a wonderful dish. If you have vegetables and before they go, the other way, put them in a dish like this. Can you use corn? Yeah. In fact, the dish at that restaurant, whose initials are KFC, actually had one with corn. And I said, okay, I'm going to use tomatoes. Why? Everyone in my house loves tomatoes. It's healthy and it goes great with spinach. Okay, so here we go. And I just want to cook it down, even though it's already done. This is a very fast dish. And you know what I said to myself? Yeah, that's why you were going to that takeout restaurant, because you wanted something fast. Well, you can do the same thing. I think I'm going to add a little bit more tomatoes. Okay, here we go. Okay, now, how is the new year treating you? I hope you have plans for 2026. And I know things are looking, kind of chaotic. And you know what my mind go back to? My mind go back to COVID. I don't know where you were, like if you were in the city or what country you were in, or where you're watching me from. Yeah, drop a line in the comment where you're watching from. But I remember, why do I bring up that? Okay, I remember how hard it was and horrible for many people where I am. And it did seem like it was never going to end. Like that was going to be the new world order. Wear masks and can't go out. And everything on shutdown. We were on shutdown. Lockdown, actually. And we got past it. We got past it. So, what's my take on that? It looks horrible and it may be horrible, but it doesn't last always. It has to stop. I have to believe that. Okay, I think that's done. So, I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to check the pasta. Yeah, that's, you hear me just stirring the pasta. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this. Yep. I'll move that over there and move this over here. And I'll cut that off. Now, I don't mind that the spoon that I put in this still have spinach on it. Okay. I'm going to turn that off because it is fogging up my camera. Okay. So now we are going to assemble this dish. Give me 1 second. Let me move this. Okay. Here we go. Remember, most of us go to fast food restaurants or order fast food restaurants because we want something fast. That's why let's go fast food. But it's not always healthy. And nowadays, like I said, I don't know where you are, but the prices is outrageous, even at fast food restaurants. They used to be affordable. Not anymore. Okay, so what you see partially off camera is me straining the pasta. Yeah, and I'm just using the strainer off camera. Please take a minute, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I realize many of you view, not many, but the ones who do view my video, I don't know if you forget to hit the like button or leave a comment, but please. Not only does it help the channel, but it also helps me. It helps me gauge what you like and what you want to see. So please do that. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It costs absolutely nothing, but it really helps the channel and me as well. Okay, so just straining the pasta. There we go. And you can decide, like I said, it was about 4 of us. And so that's why I made that much. But you can make as much or as little as you want. And you don't have to pay a lot of money. So here we go with our filling. I'm calling it filling because I'm so used to making sweets. But you could call it what you like. There we go. Now you're probably saying, she haven't seasoned that yet. And you're right, I haven't. And so here we go with the seasonings. Nice and simple. If you're new to my channel, very simple ingredients. I don't want you to have to break the bank. And these are seasonings that you probably already have in your cabinet. And if you don't, you can easily get. Don't worry. All the ingredients and measurements will be in the description box. But after a while, when you get used to cooking, you can tell how much seasoning that you're actually putting on your dish. especially when it comes to a savory dish. Bacon is a little bit different. You may want to measure that out, like with a measuring spoon or something. But yeah, did I show you? This is garlic and black pepper. I don't know if I showed you that. And if you're making this for little ones who don't like black pepper, well, you can leave it out. You can use white pepper, which I'm told is a little, yeah, it really is not as peppery. And chicken. Can you see that? I hope you can. Now I'm going to put a little, and this is why I'm not adding any salt. Because the bouillon pepper, the chicken bouillon powder, not pepper, powder is actually, this is beef, but it actually has enough seasoning. Has enough salt, excuse me. Now, you can leave it like that if you're completely vegetarian, no problem at all. But I don't know. Some in my house like a little bit of protein. So again, you can leave it exactly like that, or you could put some meat in it. And I'm going to put some meat in it. And again, at that restaurant, whose initials are KFC, they had some with meat and they had some with no meat. So you decide. But I promise you, this is a lot more affordable. And you know, I took a little cheat because this is already done. So everything in here is already done. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next, because you're probably wondering. I am just going to cut this up. Yeah, into chunks. A small bite size, not chunks really, bite size. Little bite size. And again, what I like about making dishes on your own, you decide. I don't want any meat. We don't eat meat in our house. Great. You can leave this out. Now, I've actually made this with tuna. So for those of you who like only eat fish, you can make it with tuna. You can make it with salmon. Yeah, you can make it whatever you want to make it with. And I'm telling you, it will be a lot more affordable and healthier than the one at the fast food restaurant. And if ever you want to stay as healthy as possible, it is now. I won't go into how much healthcare is costing or how crowded the hospitals are running out of beds. Yeah. We're going to keep this light. So now I'm going to start mixing. And that is why I didn't season it before, because I knew I would season it now. If I would have seasoned, let's say, the spinach and the tomatoes, I could have over-seasoned. And I didn't want to do that. So I seasoned at one time. Now, remember, everything in here is already done. So this is when you can test. What I mean by test, you can taste and see if all the seasonings is the way you like it. Let's see. I think I need a little bit more garlic. Yes, my family is heavy on garlic, especially when they see tomatoes. For some reason, when they see tomatoes, that just triggers garlic in their mind. Okay. And I have a little bit more margarine left. Now you could use, this is actually butter, I think. But you use what you like. You can use a plant butter. You can use margarine. You can use oil. Or you can totally omit it. You don't have to put it in at all. But nothing goes to waste in my house, as I said 100 times before. And it helps to, like, I don't know, make it creamy. Now I do have a little bit on this fork, so I'm good. What am I doing? I'm taking all the butter off of this fork as much as I can. And out of here. Yeah, I don't know. You'll probably say, oh my gosh, she's very frugal. Yes, I am. Nothing goes to waste. Okay. And I'm not really sure that it should. As many hungry people there are in the world. And again, not going into that. Okay. So now, it's not assembled yet. I have one large egg. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that. Crack it. Break it. Okay. There we go. And again, I use 1 spoon for everything. You know, why have more dishes? I'm just going to beat that up. Yeah, I mean, could I get another spoon? I absolutely could have. And then I have to clean more spoons. We want something quick and easy. And sometimes we order out because we don't want to have to deal with the cleanup. I don't know, ladies, gentlemen, whoever cook in the house. Yeah, sometimes I do that. I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing any dishes after this. Let me just order something. Yeah, so that's easy. So easy. Got takeout. A little, not takeout, disposable. Now, that brown piece of paper is just parchment. Now, the one at the restaurant whose initials is KFC, it was baked, slightly baked. And that is why I put in the egg so that it will hold up. And I may put in a little bit more tomatoes because my family loves tomatoes. Now, you can add cheese to this. Yep, you can add cheese if you like. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Now, the egg is just going to help to hold it together as it bakes. It's not going to really like hold it together like a cake, but it will stiffen up. Yeah, I think I'm going to come in with a little bit more tomatoes. Even though I didn't cook it down in there, my family won't mind. And besides, tomatoes take no time to cook. Okay, so now I'm going to get this into an oven. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a quiche. It really does. So I'm going to get this into an oven. Now, every oven is different. So I'm going to get this in an oven. And really, remember, everything is done. We're just cooking the egg to keep it, to make it hold together. All right, so I'm going to get this in the oven. And I'm going to put my oven at 300. You can put it at 200 if you want. But I'm just going to set it at 300. So like in 10, 15 minutes, it's done. Okay, and there we have it. Now, I wish you can smell this because it smells delicious. I'm bringing it up close to the camera so you can see. I told you it was easy to make. It took about 15 minutes, but it could take less than that, depending on your stove. Feel like I'm coming down with something like a cold, but anyway, this is delicious. And like I was saying, you can make this any way you want. You don't have to use tomatoes. You don't have to use any meat. You can make it all vegetarian if you want. Pick the vegetables that you like. Please take a minute, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It costs absolutely nothing, but please leave a comment. I really want 2026 to be my year. As you know, I love what I'm doing. I love uploading these videos. I've been doing it for quite a while, so please subscribe, like, and share. Until next time, enjoy.